Is it working? Let's go! It's working finally. Hi guys, you guys are watching the Life of Mary podcast. Today's guest is one of my friends. It's James. Their Twitter will be in the bios if you want to follow them there. Please do. You might recognize him from episode 2 of Life with Mary podcast. The podcast, which is not coming back. I'm just bringing it back for episodes like we're doing today. Today is April. What is it? Damn.
18th.
17th. And as most of you guys do not know, April is the month of autism awareness. So that's what we're trying to do this month. There's a small break between Life of Mary and Mac and Cheese, which I'm on now. If you want to be a guest, please put in the comments here, and I will try to get you on this podcast for a special month. I'm trying to do a podcast once a month on this channel. I'm trying to bring this channel back. And then Mac and Cheese is my main for Packers podcasting NFL. You guys will hear about Packers podcasting soon. Okay, James, what does autism mean to you? I know we're not going off a script.
For myself personally, I used to view it as something that I was, quite frankly, embarrassed about.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I kept hidden for years.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, I was a little different. I was a different kind of kid when I was growing up. I've always had these little nuances. I've always stuck to routines. I've always kind of had issues with using my hands. I've had just different things happen. But to me, now that I got diagnosed when I was 17.
Okay.
So it's almost 8 years. It's pretty much 8 years now.
All right.
And I look at this. What I used to look at it as, I used to look at it as a complete negative,
Mm-hmm.
and something I refused to accept.
Mm-hmm.
But now, as I've gotten older, I've turned that into this. It's just what it is. I have to deal with it. So I have to try to find a positive way to deal with it. And I think I have.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, if you follow me, you've seen my stuff. So I'm not shy about
Right.
telling my story.
Oh, sorry. Miranda's texting me now too.
But yeah, I mean, any questions you have for me, just
I wasn't prepared to ask questions tonight.
I mean, anything off the top of your head is
I
fine.
know. My mind is frozen right now. I don't know. I'm trying to. Oh, I guess I can tell my story. I'm so
But
excited.
yeah, mine's a little different from yours. But
Yeah, I can do it. So, for those of you that do not know, I am also on the spectrum. I was diagnosed when I was 12 years old, I think. So, 2012. So, a little while ago. It's changed my life completely, honestly. Like James said, hand speaking, eye contact. Eye contact is getting better for me from therapy wise. But it's just been a huge turnaround of events for me personally. For you, what would you say people notice or talk about to you the most? I don't know if that makes sense.
for me, I have a tendency to be repetitive quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Once I slip into certain comfort zones, I stay there, and most times, most people can notice it.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm the biggest Packers nerd. Duh.
Right.
I could go on and on and on about that. I really can.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the things that I enjoy learning. I've enjoyed learning about, and it's just something I've been passionate about. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's part of who I mean, it's
Right.
part of who I am, really.
Right.
And I guess another thing people might, I don't know exactly if people do notice this, but sometimes, well, they might. I'm, I'm tend to be very, very shy and not really.
Mhm.
I don't tend to open up to people right away because I just the one thing that I've always carried around. I've always had fear of people dismissing me or being rejecting of me,
Mhm.
which is why I didn't, for like I said, the last let's see, like the last 2 years of high school, I had well, actually, pretty much my whole life in high school
Mhm.
and well, elementary school and high school. I didn't. Not only did I not get a diagnosis, I didn't say a word. I didn't really feel comfortable saying anything
Mhm.
because I felt so embarrassed.
Right.
And I mean, there are times that I still feel that way, but I mean,
Right.
is that a bad thing?
I would say it's not a bad thing personally. I would just say it's not a bad thing personally. It just depends on who you're talking to though too.
Because I'll just say this straight up too. That's why I haven't been trying to date.
Mhm.
It's just I know that that's a reason. Probably no woman's been interested in me, and it's just it's
Right.
hard for me to interact with people the way I know that I'm I know what I'm capable of.
Right.
It's just I'm I'm shy. I'm shy, and I don't know where I fit or who I connect with most.
Mhm.
I try to be as normal as possible. I really do.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, I just looked up questions like to ask.
Nice, it's
That's
okay.
how freaking tired I am right now. Oof. So no, that's fine. Some of these are bad.
Well, if you got anything, just
I know. So people say, well, you already talked about this. So I learned in school when I was in occupational therapy assistant school, they say like people on the spectrum connect to one thing in specific. What do you think that one thing is? Like I know Packers, NFL, basketball. Like
yeah. For me, I'm a sports guy. I just
right.
I'm. I mean, that's what I got. I got my degree in journalism. So
I keep forgetting about that.
that's something I'm. Yeah, I got it. I graduated two years ago this June
Oh wow.
with my degree in communications and media. So that's something that I'm extremely proud of.
Hmm.
And it's something that I've been wanting to do my entire life.
That's amazing.
I've never
So
really had any other interests.
right. So now that you have your journalism degree, what are you hoping to do with it? I know we're kind of getting off topic.
I'm still looking for jobs. Shoot, I'm gonna find something sooner rather than later.
I'm like promoting our show as we talk, kind of. Uh, so, like you said, for me, it's basketball, it's football, like Packers, NFL. It's podcasting, believe it or not, is like one of the things. And that's why I kind of started mac and cheese too. Is like Tom Grossi had a huge aspect of me for that purpose, and then it's it's just like building connections. Like I told you, I'm not going to say the one thing I learned, but I did learn one of our guests from Mac and Cheese is on the spectrum. So like that's where we connect. I think you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one great point to. I think it was. I don't remember how much Tom got from. Anyways, Tom Grossi did a fundraiser for the Spectrum community, and he raised like over $50,000 or something recently, last December. So that was huge. and I'm not announcing that one yet. uh, I'm like going back and forth. What do you think is the best way to get to know someone with on the spectrum? It's kind of hard. That's kind of hard.
That is a hard one.
Yeah. Mm,
I would say try to gauge what their favorite topics are.
mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the easiest way to start a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Or I would say like try to find commonalities. Like for instance, I just found someone on Twitter and they're like football fans. They're a Bengals fan actually. The Bengals fan I was just talking about. So like and they followed some of the people that I follow. So I was like, hey, maybe I would like them. Like, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
With like commonalities. That's why I like try to, and that's why I try to go in the DMs first, kind of with some people, because you never know like what people would say. And that's why I watch I watch most of their content first if they have a podcast or something. It's just easier for me to get to know them
Mm-hmm.
personally. Um, this is so hard.
Actually, you know what? I got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The lowest point you've ever been at.
Ooh, that's actually tough. Cause like for the lowest point for me is probably depression. Like I don't know.
And that's one thing that I struggle with my autism too.
Hmm. I
And
would say like
that's why I
depression.
thought about asking it.
That's tough. Like I would say depression, like mild depression. That's it. That's tough though. Also, we didn't say this yet, but if you guys need to talk to anyone, James or I are here for you guys. We understand what you guys are going through, definitely. I'm pretty much an open book for everything.
Yeah, so am I.
No. And I know I can leave our Twitter ads in the bio, or I will. Do you have any other ones? That was a good question. Uh,
Well, I can
this is hard because
I
I have
can
to
try to
remember.
answer my own question, but
Mm, I guess try not to make us cry or tear up. It's hard.
all right, here it goes. Best I can do. I was a freshman in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was teased constantly,
Um,
and I wouldn't understand why.
mm-hmm.
And it's just as the days went on, my mental health just took a toll for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I mean, it just, and this was like right as the time when I got diagnosed.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't know what was going on. I had such bad anxiety, which is another symptom of
Yeah.
autism. That
Right.
anxiety and depression go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I had so much anxiety at one point, like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I I'm just gonna say it.
Mm-hmm.
I I attempted to kill myself one day
Oh wow.
because I was that bad. I couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the lowest point I had ever had, and even to this day. I still, it still haunts me.
Oh, I bet.
Like it's going on 10 years now. It's been 10 years now,
Oh, wow.
and I just every now and then I still think about it.
Yeah, that's bad. Oh, shit. Mm.
And the reason why I say this is because I didn't think. I want people to understand. It's like, look, I didn't think, at least at the time, I didn't think I mattered to anybody.
Aw.
I was
Wow.
like, really, you have no idea how close I came. It was, and it was at that point, I just, and when I got my diagnosis,
Hmm.
I didn't want to accept it. I wanted to run. I just wanted to run from it. I tried my absolute best to run away from it and not confront it.
Right. Mm.
And I tell you, it took me a long time. It really did.
Oh. That makes more sense. Okay. Sorry. I was looking at fun facts. So, one thing I did learn, I thought it was blue for autism, but it's actually red now, apparently. So it affects mostly 5 year olds, which is so sad. And and the puzzle piece is important for people on the spectrum,
Yeah.
which I kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun, like for that. And unfortunately, I was gonna do a podcast about the spectrum, but I'm not going to anymore. Especially with this new network, I'm not doing it. I just can't do it. Uh, okay, here's a good one. What would you say to anyone that is like feeling they are on the spectrum?
Get yourself see if there's like a test you can take, or
Mm-hmm.
like go to a medical, like a get a clinical diagnosis somehow,
Yeah.
because it's a very hard. I know you've probably heard the saying before. Autism is one of the disorders you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really see from on people, so it's a very hidden
Right.
disorder.
Right. Okay.
How does somebody? I mean, I might as well. I mean,
Yeah. Go ahead.
how would somebody like myself
Mm-hmm.
go about trying to making friends with people?
For me, this is a bad question for me to answer, unfortunately. Because like for me, like all my friends are on social media, like
Same
partially.
here.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know if it's because like it's harder for us to make friends. I think it's easy for me to make friends though, but I'm finding most of my friends are older than me.
Me too.
Okay, so it's like I'm not gonna say how old some of my friends are, but there's like in their 40s, like 30s, whereas like I'm in my young 20s. So it's hard, like or from what I know of in their 40s. But you know what I mean. It's like hard for me to make friends, and I don't know if it's I don't get it. It's so hard to make friends. Or it's like I know people that have like kids on the spectrum, so it's like I can relate to my friends that have kids on the spectrum. So weird.
one thing I hate. I mean, it's just at least with us. I hate. I know I can't probably speak for you, but I'm just talking about in general.
Right.
I hate how we're viewed as less than.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't quite understand that.
Hmm.
Like,
Um,
that's what really bothers me.
yeah. I mean, this might be a hard question. I'm so sorry. What would you want to see in like theme parks for like people on the spectrum, like in general? Like I know Disney has Dash Pass, which is disability accessibility services, but it turns out Justin and I looked this up because Justin's also on the spectrum. Um, the spectrum doesn't count for most of it. What would you say to like theme parks in general? I guess for right now, like what would you say they need to do to help people on the spectrum?
That's mm,
That's hard.
that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really,
Like for me, I would say have quieter spaces, like more quiet spaces.
I would say make stuff easy to find. Like, have stuff pointed out for people to see and find.
Right. Right. But it's like don't do that all the time. I would
Hmm.
like you can ask, and that's what Disney is good at. Is like if you ask, like they would point it out to you, or like have maps because like if you can see it, you can understand it more. And that's the thing I hate about like online apps or not online apps, online maps, like on apps or whatever. Because like it's not like paper, so it's like the paper ones are like more park specific, like where it's like you can see it,
Hmm.
whereas like the map you have to like zoom in, and it's so annoying. I don't know. That's a good one though. Um, what do you think of Broadway having? Well, I don't know if everyone does this. Some Broadway shows I know do specific shows for people on the spectrum. Would you like to see that more or less?
I didn't even know they did.
Yeah, like I know Wicked does this, where like they have like a show like where it's like quieter or like brighter, where it's not so dark, so people like can focus and they can like explain like who you're gonna meet and when and like all the like costumes and stuff. Oh
Well, me personally, shoot, I go to I mean, I got no problem going to concerts or
yeah,
movies.
right.
I'm going to a concert in June.
That's amazing.
I'm going to see Chris Brown. By the way,
Nice.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. See, it's like I have no issue with like trying to do
Mhm.
like normal crowd type of things,
Right.
and as I've gotten older, louder noises don't really bother me as much
Hmm.
anymore. They
Hmm.
used to when I was younger, though. Oh Lord,
Right.
that's another symptom, by the way. People with autism might
Huh?
have sensitive.
Sensitivity to sound.
Yeah, they'll be sensitive to like
Yeah.
certain sounds or light or
I just thought of something. Okay. I'm not gonna say what it's though. Like online on the record.
right.
It's just yeah. It's just yeah. Um, yeah, but Broadway does that, I know, for like buckets with like sensitivity, like stress toys.
Hmm.
What do you think is like one adaptivity like you would love to see like for NFL games, like for people on the spectrum? I know that kind of like hand in hand with like Universal and Disney and stuff, but it could be different.
Mm. Well, I mean, I mean, that's actually that's even harder because I mean,
Hmm.
we see everything during an NFL game. At this, I mean, it's especially during sporting events.
Hmm.
like you can it's hard to miss a lot. It's hard to miss certain things.
Right.
It really is.
And sometimes you do miss things. Like, you can't deny it.
That's actually that's a good one, but I don't know how they can.
Exactly. It's like
Now I
maybe
mean only hmm,
I was gonna say maybe like have a quiet space,
that was the only thing I was gonna think of. Yeah.
but then like you would miss the game unless you have the game in like that quiet space. But
Hmm.
it would be as if you're watching it on the TV though.
Yeah,
So
if you're
that's
watching
the
at
point.
home. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. That's like I guess
That's a
there's nothing you can really do because you don't want to quiet down the whole stands because there's no point of that.
yeah, man, I know people that like wear headphones to like
Yeah, me too. But
arenas,
like,
concerts, and whatnot. If if it gets too loud for them, they can still be part of the audience, but
right.
they
Then
just
I feel like if you do that, you can't hear like the music while you're there for.
uh,
Like that's just my opinion because I've noticed that. I don't know. That's a hard one though. I regret asking it now.
no, it's okay. It's a good question though.
uh, no, what am I doing, computer? Do you have anything else?
When you were younger, what did you mostly gravitate towards?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, was there one specific thing that you were like really interested in, or something like a? Doesn't matter if it was like a
No,
TV show
yeah.
or
So, actually, funny that you say that. My mom literally just told me, or recently told me this, not literally. She told me when I was little, NFL. NFL always used to call me down. And, like, not a specific team either. Just like NFL in general. And then here I am today, like, hopping on a major, well, a podcast about Packers to this day. And it's like, I think I chose the Packers because, like, I'm from Wisconsin. For those of you that do not know, I'm originally from the state of Wisconsin, from, like, the Stevens Point area. So I grew up in Wisconsin, and I think that's why I'm a Packers fan. But I grew up, like, watching the NFL when I was little. Like, I would not cry if the NFL was on either.
uh,
It's so crazy. What about you, though?
yeah, I was pretty simple. Say, I used to watch this. I used to come home. Well, okay, long
Mm-hmm.
story short, I used to watch this talk show host, Montel Williams. I love the guy. I used to watch his talk show every day when I came home from school.
Mm-hmm.
Same time, 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even do my homework till after the show ended.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I used to watch him for years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just shoot. Even now, I still try to find old episodes of his show on YouTube, and because that was like the one thing I was most comfortable with watching.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. It's harder, though, I feel
In what way?
like, to find something that you like to calm you down.
Hmm.
Because it's harder to, like, do something that you're not used to. Like, if you don't know the thing, like, how would you know if it calms you down?
Exactly. Yeah.
And, like, it's like when I was little, I didn't understand the NFL rules because there's so many now. But I'm like, oh, okay, I understand it more. I don't know. That's just me. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, I think it also helps. Well, which is like, I think it's also helpful because, like, for me, my dad's a paramedic. For those that do not know, so it's like I grew up like kind of like in that field. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Hmm. I just thought of something, even though it might sound
Whatever,
kind of obvious.
whatever.
Do you ever have a fear of being judged by other people? I know I do.
You know, it's funny. I was literally just talking to one of my friends, one of my social media friends about this. I mean, yeah, sometimes, I guess. I think it's also harder to get on podcasts if you don't like their vibe too, in my opinion. But yeah, I get
I'm just talking about just life in general.
right. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Wow, we've been recording for 30 minutes. Wow, go us.
Ooh,
I didn't know how long you wanted to go tonight. What?
yeah, we'll keep going. I just got another one.
Go ahead.
What do you say to someone who talks down to you and doesn't really get like how do you react to something
Hmm.
like that? Because I've had that happen to me God knows how many times.
No, for sure. So, like, I'm not gonna say who, but this recently happened where I, like, talked to my friends, or Miranda, for instance, and then she told me, like, it's all okay, Mary. It's all okay. Like, we can work through this together. And it's like, for me, that's how I work through it. Is like I tell my friends, and they tell me like, how would you like say it? So it's less complicated to work through. Because for me, I get very I didn't put it on this one. I get very stressed out. Whereas like yesterday's name for me, because I was on a live stream, was like Mary stressed out or something like that. It changes like based on my mood, kind of. I don't know. That's just me though.
Yeah, I kind of struggle with that too.
Right. I don't know. That's just me. Ugh. I mean, what would you say to anyone that like asked you for advice about the spectrum in general, or just like anything?
What would I tell them?
Yeah, like besides like, I would recommend getting checked out by a doctor.
If you get diagnosed, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Even though it might seem like it might feel like it.
Hmm.
Because I tell you, when I got my diagnosis, I crumbled faster than the Berlin Wall, man.
Hmm.
Like I just, and I'll never forget how I got the diagnosis too.
Hmm.
I had a therapy session,
Wow.
and what's up?
No, I said wow. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
I had a therapy session, and my mom told me, and I couldn't even look at her.
Hmm.
I didn't know what to think or what to do,
Oh shoot, that's who I should get. This is sponsor. You just helped me, kind of.
and I just at the time I didn't know what to make of myself.
That's amazing.
But then fast forward what 2 years,
Hmm.
and it was I'll never forget. This was one particular day, a therapy session that I had, and my therapist told me she knew I had been hiding and trying to avoid
Hmm.
dealing with my autism for so long. Like
Hmm.
she knew it in the back of her mind that like, and she literally confronted me and told me a lot of hard truth that I didn't want to hear,
Hmm.
but I needed to hear it, and it's it's been something that I've carried with me every day ever since. And that's when I came out publicly with my diagnosis because I realized the sooner I the sooner that I embrace it and don't try to run from it, the sooner
Mhm.
I can, the sooner that people can get to know me.
Right.
I mean, even now, I don't really have, even now, I don't have as many friends as I used to have.
Right.
I mean, it's hard making friends nowadays, like you said earlier, but
Yeah.
it's not that I don't know how. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where mm, mm, take your time, man. Take your time.
That's hard though.
I don't know where I fit in at.
Aw.
I really don't.
Aw.
It's it's almost impossible to figure out where you know,
Yeah.
it, mm, it's so hard, man.
Oh, I should have brought on a teacher that works with people on the spectrum. Dang it. I have so many
I'm
friends.
sorry for crying, actually, but
I'm not trying. My goal is not to cry tonight.
mm,
My friends will see me cry for sure.
it's like if only people could step in my shoes for one day and
No, yeah.
try to understand.
What we go through, I feel like.
Like it sucks. It's sometimes it's I know it's the hand I've been dealt, but it's just
Right.
oh Lord.
Hmm. I'm literally just DMing one of my friends that I know that works with people on the spectrum. That's a math teacher.
Yeah,
Or
sorry about that.
no, you're fine.
I hate how it seems like I mean I don't mean to say that. I mean it's just I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this. I know what I want to say. I'm just trying to figure out how to say it.
Yeah.
So give me a second.
No, you're fine.
I feel so out of place sometimes.
No, yeah, I understand.
And
I
it's
completely.
just hell, even on social media, sometimes I feel so out of place.
Yeah, and that's like why I'm thinking about secretly taking a break, like from social media on my main.
That's why I took a break a while ago
Yeah,
because
like I.
I didn't think people
Yeah.
I was not in good I just this was like this was during the height of the pandemic. I hit another low
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't fun. And it's just even now I still struggle with trying to get to know people and
Mhm.
it's just because see when I was in high school and elementary school and even college, I
Mhm.
found people that I could connect with, and it seemed like in a hurry I could connect with them. But now as a full grown adult, it's just, ugh,
No, yeah. I
I feel like I don't know where to turn.
right.
Especially with being on the spectrum, it's very difficult for me to
Mhm.
it's very difficult for me to trust people,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
like I don't know what to do.
No, yeah. It's you're just like I don't know what to do. Yeah. Friend, DM me back. Yeah, it's just so hard because you just don't know what to do, like with you personally, not with you personally. That's a stupid idea, but you know what I mean. It's like,
Yeah,
and that's like why I'm like co-hosting. Well, I'm co-hosting with Fun Football Podcast now, So it's like that was one of my main friends I met first through social. Oh, not the main one, but it's like because I was on Ohana first, I like met Isaac from Fun Football Podcast. He's DMing me right now. That's actually funny.
Yeah, it's just
um,
like I really don't know where to like who to turn to. It's just
honestly, if
circles
you,
smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's just
oh yeah,
I have so like I have a
what does that mean? Sorry, he's DMing me so quickly.
I have a really hard time trying to convince myself that I won't be judged by people and I won't be looked down upon. Like really, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah, no, yeah,
It's
it's
it's it's hard to get over that.
yeah, it's just, and I would say, if someone gives advice like to you, I would take the advice. All that you can get. I will say that. Would you agree?
It's
I'm not going to
somebody
say what happened, but something did happen. Or someone didn't take advice. And yeah.
one more time.
I would say if someone gives you advice, take the advice.
Uh,
You never know, it could help people. Like, just take advice if someone offers it to you. You know what I mean?
I mean, I hate putting you on the spot, but since you went there,
I'm not saying who or what happened.
no. I'm just gonna ask, what advice would you give me?
Oh, shoot. Oh, no.
You didn't think I was gonna ask that, did you?
No, I meant podcasting advice. But
Oh,
yeah. I mean, um,
yeah. I mean, as far as with like interacting with people and trying to,
oh, I mean, oh shoot, I struggle with that too. But it's like I said, like find like commonalities that you have with other people, where it's like I'm gonna bring up Isaac one more time because he's DMing me right now. He is a teacher for a math teacher for special ed. I'm not sure what. I think he does seventh and eighth grade in particular, but he helps people every day. And I would say just like talk to your friends like often and see like what they could do for you. Like maybe they can meet like more people or something. You never know. Like reach out to them and be like, "Hey, I'm struggling. Can you help me?" or something.
I'm actually glad you brought up. You said he's a teacher for special ed.
Mm-hmm. A math teacher in particular. Yep.
Yeah, I had all kinds of accommodations when I was in school. Literally had all kinds.
Okay.
I uh, extended time on test taking, extended time for homework, which was nice at
Yeah.
times.
I bet.
Extended time for like
Yeah.
uh, let's see. I also had the ability to my especially my high school teachers. They were so good about this.
Lucky.
They used to let me take just literally just take a break and step out of class
Mm-hmm.
whenever I felt uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. So that's a great segue into my final question. Unless if you have any more. What do you think is a great accommodation that schools don't have now that they should for people on the spectrum that could help? I feel like that's harder because like I don't know,
I
like
mean,
more
most schools,
breaks maybe
most yeah, I was gonna say,
because most schools don't have breaks. Like I had IEPs, you name it,
yeah, me too.
or whatever. So it's like I had like extra time for tests, and I still do for college. Well, I still
Yeah,
do for
I
college,
did too.
but it's like the school that I went to didn't have breaks, didn't have extra homework like passes or something. So stupid. Like the one that I did have, which I'm thankful for, which I didn't use, which I should have known, is like get out 5 minutes before class ended because like crowded hallways bugged me.
I was the opposite, man. I was
Really?
looking for my classmates when I was getting out of class.
Well, because for me, I didn't like walk from choir to theater, which is like 5 minutes away already, and the bells only gave us 5 minutes at the time.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too.
So it's like I was like trying to rush to my next class, and if they don't, they give me like tardies so many times, like where it's like three tardies there gave you a detention, so it's like an automatic detention for the teacher letting you out late.
Uh,
Do you have any more questions or no?
but somebody, well, this is probably the hardest one because I'm this is the part that really bugs me.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
How do I get myself into how do I get myself into a position where I feel comfortable, like confident and comfortable enough to
Yeah,
date? Because I'm chomping at
I
the
knew this would come up.
and just and it's just like I know like it's for someone like me with with the challenges that I've had, it's difficult for me. It really is. I'm not very like I am a shy person. I'm not. I mean, I can talk my ass off, but it's
Right.
like, like I just, how do I put myself in the best position to make myself known? I guess is what I'm really trying to say.
I mean,
Because I've been turned away more times than I can count.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. For some odd reason, men always come up to me first.
And I know for a fact that it's because of my autism. That's why I'm not dating anybody. I know that. I mean, it took me a while to figure that out, but
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of hard. I don't remember what it's called, but there's a Netflix documentary all about like people on the spectrum with dating.
love on the spectrum.
I have you seen it?
I have not yet.
It's so freaking good.
But it's just, it's like, how can I, because I just, like I said earlier, I'm human. I'm a human being. You know, I'm not somebody to look be down upon. And it just,
Yeah.
with life in general, man, it's a struggle.
Hmm.
And people don't understand. Which is why I decided to come out and talk about it.
No, I know you will be on the next month one too.
Yeah.
Aw, friend. Sorry, he's talking to me about depression and stuff. Stop. He's telling me he's broke right now. I told him to get checked out. He said he's broke. Okay, any final thoughts about this episode? Like, I'll announce the next one.
For all the people that we follow that see this, thank you for do it. I can do it. Thank you for opening your arms and your heart and accepting me for the person that I am.
Aw.
I don't know how much you really don't know how much it means to me because it's it's been a 10-year struggle, man. I just all I want is for all I want is for people to love and accept me for the human that I am.
Hmm.
And what you know, I live by this saying: what you see with me is what you get.
Hmm.
I don't. I hate being judged by people. I hate, I just hate being turned away by people. And it's just, if you give me a chance,
Hmm.
you see what kind of person I am.
Hmm.
To those of you that have, thanks.
Okay. Where can people find you? I know I'll post it in the bio, but
You can find me on Twitter at J16James. You can find me on Instagram,
yeah.
James Jefferson 945.
Okay.
And
Don't you have TikTok too?
yeah, down
I
there.
don't even know what your TikTok is.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, perfect. I knew that, Celia. Sorry, I'm getting stuff from Isaac from Fun Football. I knew that. Stop. Bad. As soon as you were telling me about relationship, he's telling me about his relationship stuff. It's actually funny. I mean, Isaac would probably be a good person for you to talk to if you want. He's the best. I'm not being biased, Isaac, either about that. He's one of the best. Also, Foster, a Bears fan. He's like one of the best to open up to, for sure, for anything. I can get you his Twitter if you want. They're both best, the best. Okay. For me, as James and I mentioned before, there is going to be a mental health episode in May. It's probably going to be the end of the month. Are you okay with that, James?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Just because, like I mentioned before, Mac and Cheese Podcast, which we are keeping the name, even though we just switched networks, we are keeping the name. We do have a different logo. I just didn't change it on StreamYard yet for some odd reason. Because I don't want to. Um, you can find it at Mac Podcast 365 on YouTube. We are reaching 70 subscribers soon, which is going to be huge. Oh, I forgot one of the main important shows. Friday. No. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to be live with Draft Utopia, a huge Patriots fan. We are going to be doing a mock draft, which is going to be fun. He's a very big fan of Tyler Nubin, the safety. So I will be sure to ask him those questions. And Isaac's typing again. And Friday night, there is going to be a live on
Yeah.
the new network, Podcast Boys
Sorry,
Network.
give me 1 second.
There you go.
Yours the one with the 7 on it, I think.
Do you want me to continue?
Let me see. Okay. This one.
What? Hey, wait, this is ham.
Yeah, this one's
That's
yours.
ham.
This one's
Okay.
yours. Yep, got it. Yeah, this one's yours. You're welcome.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I'll just restart because I don't even know what I said anymore. So, uh, tomorrow night, Mac and Cheese is going to be live at 5 Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. Draft Utopia. Patriots fan. It's going to be a fun talk. Packers and Patriots. He is a big fan of Tyler Nubin, the safety from Minnesota. I will be sure to bring that one up. We will be doing a mock draft and come with Patriots questions. It's only going to be an hour long for that one. Friday night, there is going to be a Bengal conversation. Packers and Bengals. Yeah. It's going to be Justin, Bengal fan, and myself, as far as I know. Jason might be hopping on, which is fun football podcast co-host for right now. They are like switching out guests every once the season starts for a while, pretty much for the full season. And then next week, and we did decide that we're doing a mental health awareness episode as well as this one. So if you guys deal with mental health, please DM me probably, and we can try to get 2 of you guys on here. It's gonna be hard, but I think we should have more people for that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure. Like, I know, Isaac, if you want to come on, I know you're taking a break, though. But for, like, a little bit. Because Isaac is taking a 4-month break. Because he's a teacher, so he needs a break. Oh. Oh. Okay. He's telling me spoilers right now. So, next week, like I was starting to say, draft content, NFL draft. You will see James with me again on that episode. I think day 3. It's all coming together slowly. Day 1, I'm going to be live with Fun Football Podcast, like I just mentioned. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh. Aw, boo. Okay, sorry. So, first round, like I was saying. Okay. Isaac, I'm recording. Stop. Bad. Okay, like I was saying. I will be live Thursday night, next Thursday, I think at 7 p.m. Central Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. First night of draft, first night of NFL draft. It's going to be that one. Friday night, same time, NFL draft day too. It's going to be live with the Angry, I'll be live with the Angry Cheesehead everywhere. X, Facebook, Instagram. No TikTok, because we cannot go live on TikTok. Please, everyone, please follow Fun Football Podcast on TikTok. They might follow you back. I'm not promising you anything. Also, as I did mention, Mac and Cheese did switch partners recently. We are now partnering with Podcast Boys. This channel is not, is the issue. So, please follow Podcast Boys on TikTok. Their at is Podcast Boys 43. You can find me. I don't have it in my X right now. You can this is my at for the YouTube channel. It's at Mac Podcast 365 for the Mac and Cheese channel. And then my personal Twitter is, I don't even know anymore. I think it's like Mary 90. It's capital MARY 90118710 for my personal Twitter. The podcast Twitter is Mac Podcast 2023. If you want to be a guest on either one of those shows, just DM it there and I'll get it to you. That's probably going to be the easiest one to schedule. Anything else you want to say to the people? Oh, one more thing. Please don't feel free. Please feel free to either message one of us. We'll be able to answer it as best as possible.
Yep.
Anything else?
And for those that see this, of course, we know so many people. So I mean, I'm sure this will reach.
I'll post it when it's uploaded.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know it's probably gonna reach a lot of people, but
Yeah.
please give us a watch and share this. I mean, it would mean a lot to both of us.
And I'm not going to be biased. If you guys want, please subscribe to Mac and Cheese Podcast on YouTube. We are trying to reach 70 by the draft, and we just reached 60 yesterday subscribers. So we're growing very, very fast on that. Anything else you want to say to the people?
Not that I can think of.
I can't think of anything either. I'm going to press end recording if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.